wrote an article recently. It says campaign 2024, not left versus right, but affluent versus everyone else.
Julian told me, he explained Bitcoin to me back in 2011, and I come from a completely different kind of area. I did law and politics, and it was all a bit alien to me. So he explained the technology behind it, but he also gave me a big picture understanding of the significance of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the real Occupy Wall Street. Now, the reference might be lost on some of you because some of you are quite young, but Occupy Wall Street came about in 2011, and it was a movement in which literally people occupied Wall Street. They occupied the in front of the Bank of England, and that popular movement grew out of actually the revolutions in the Middle East and the revolutionary movements in Spain as well. Those revolutionary movements in the Middle East and in Egypt and in Tunisia were in part fueled, large part, by the WikiLeaks publications, of State Department cables, which revealed how the US was backing the dictatorships, and the corruption in detail was revealed in these cables, and that led to popular movements who then managed to overthrow the dictators.
Think about the financial abuse of the American public and how there's a whole network of financial criminals and bankers and other people that have enabled that and protected that. They're looting us clean. And now that people are about to figure it out and the economy is going to collapse, and it could be Occupy Wall Street repeated on a massive scale that could actually bring the system down. They don't want that. They want to do a controlled demolition and get everyone, on CBDCs during an energy and food crisis that they've manufactured, when people are going to be more desperate, and they'll do anything to have food in their tummies, keep their kids fed, and not freeze to death.
It just seems like to me you would think that the majority of Americans would get this by now.
I think the Occupy movement was correct when they identified this idea of the 1% versus the 99%, that there's a small minority of people who are doing great and everything makes sense to them. And then there's this sort of widening group of other people who have all kinds of complaints about all these different things. Some of them are working multiple jobs. Some of them, are navigating the ridiculous healthcare system that just makes no sense. And, bankruptcy is automatic if you get sick at a certain time. Like, there's so many reasons to be pissed right now.
According to the media, nothing is happening here. Just move on.
The 1% who own 40% of the wealth.